Hey guys, welcome back to the Crochet with Kelsey channel. For those of you who don't know me, I am Kelsey. I am a crocheter. I run a crochet small business. My username is Crochet with Kelsey over on Instagram. And the purpose of this video today is to show you all of the patterns that I have completed so far this year. So I've seen that other creators do like pattern roundup videos. So I kind of thought it would be a fun idea to do this like once a month to just kind of keep track of how many plushies I'm making and to hopefully show you guys some new fun patterns that you can make. So let's go ahead and dive in, and I will be showing you all of the makes that I made in the month of January. So I don't know when this is going to release. I do have a couple of videos scheduled to go out before this, but just know that these are all of the projects that I completed in January 2026. So my very first make of the year was this beautiful Nessie pattern from Crafted for Comfort. She is so talented. I love that all of this is crocheted in one piece. She has a very unique style. She has a great way to kind of make these little curves in the body. So it's made with short rounds. So if you're looking for a challenging pattern that's just something different from what you see every day, I would highly recommend her Nessie pattern. And you can find that over on her Etsy. I will also link all of the patterns that I'm showing off below so that you can just click right to the pattern if you see one that catches your eye. So my very first make of 2026, I couldn't be happier with it. I think it's absolutely precious, and yeah. So my second make of 2026 was actually a custom order, and unfortunately I don't have it with me. I've already shipped it out, but I will include some photos over here. It was an Alakazam custom order, and it was so much fun to make. I was a little bit overwhelmed when I first opened up the pattern and saw that like there were a ton of parts that needed to be sewn on and stuff. But overall, I really enjoyed it. And that is a pattern from Fox and Faye Crochet. So if you like Pokemon, I highly recommend this pattern. I don't know why, but I've been getting so many custom Pokemon orders ever since I did my Pokemon card show event last July, which is great, but it can be a little bit challenging to make like actual characters. But this pattern was very well written. It was very easy to figure out what needed to be done, where everything needed to go. So I was very happy with the outcome on that one. And then for my third make of the year, I made Millie's Pesky Pixie. This is one of her Patreon exclusive patterns for one of her higher tiers, I believe, but that's Red Mills Crochet. I am obsessed with this little body style, and since she made the Pesky Pixie, she has made many other little creatures in the same style, and I am literally just obsessed with it because it's so cute. So I made this one in Baby Bear, not my typical yarn that I use. I usually use like a chenille yarn, specifically Himalaya Dolphin Baby, but I really do like the size that it turned out. I think it is absolutely adorable, and the wings on it are very unique, and they're super cute. So if you're not a part of Millie's Patreon, I would highly recommend joining because she releases so many cute little patterns that are exclusive to her Patreon. So for my third make of the year, this was actually one of my patterns. It is Peaches the cat. So I wanted to kind of experiment with some new body shapes, and I wanted something that could sit really nicely like this. That was also small enough to where, you know, it would have more of an appeal. So this is actually my Patreon exclusive pattern for February. It is currently in testing, so it will probably be released in the next week or so. So by the time this video comes out, it will for sure be out. If we're still in February, this pattern will be available over on my Patreon. And I just really like how it looks cute when you're like holding it up. And it also looks cute sitting like that. So I definitely want to make some different things with this body shape because it is like a nice smaller sitting pattern. So we'll see what I can come up with. And then if you guys watch my YouTube videos consistently, I'm sure you have seen this guy. How could you forget him? This is Ricky the rat. He took a little bit longer than some of the other patterns that I've made. I think probably you can tell why, because he is jumbo, but I really like him, and one of my friends actually claimed him because she thought that he was so cute. So I'm really excited that Ricky found a new home, because he's just kind of been chilling upstairs on my couch with my cat. So it'll be good for him to go to a home where he can have some more love. So Ricky is a pattern that is available on my Etsy and on my website. So if you're interested in making your own giant rat, you should go for it. And I know it looks like a lot, but it actually took less than 2 skeins of the main color. So you could probably get away with a skein and a half, depending on your tension. I used Himalaya Dolphin Baby and a 4.5 millimeter hook. So yeah, he's a fun little make. He's a big guy. On to my next make. So I wanted to do a free pattern video tutorial over on YouTube, and I needed to make a prototype to get a pattern written out for that tutorial. And this is the little guy that I made. He's a little bear. He's super cute. I wanted it to be complex enough to where people would be interested in watching the video and making it, but I also didn't want to make it too complicated. So with this little guy, I'm not sure if the tutorial is going to be released or not by the time that this video comes out, but all of his parts are sewn in besides the head and the ears. So it's a pretty quick and simple make, but the YouTube tutorial that I used with that pattern is to make a little Scrappy bear. So I used up a lot of my scrap yarn to get this little guy made, and he really doesn't take that much yarn at all. So I'm kind of wanting to hit 20,000 followers over on Instagram, and this is kind of like a perk of like helping me get there. So I might have this pattern released, I might not. I'm getting pretty close, but we'll see if this is out or not. But if it is, I will link the video in this video. So that is 2 little makes that took like an hour each, probably less than an hour. This one definitely took less than an hour, but since I was like recording and my camera died and I have to like keep taking breaks, this one probably took a little bit longer, but it is a nice little project if you need to use up some of your materials. So after I made my little Scrappy bear, I went on my crochet retreat where I made 6 plushies. So this was my first make. This is actually a free pattern, believe it or not. It is from Red Mills Crochet, and I had the pleasure of testing it for her. It's a little mandrake. I think his name is Thorin, and he is just super cute, and I am obsessed with him. So you can make this one for free, which is, it's so rare to see a pattern that's like this complex as a free pattern. So we love Millie for treating us like royalty. So be sure to go make your own little Thorin. He's so cute. And I used Elise Softy for a few of the other plushies that have like this more like soft texture, and I really love the way that all of them turned out. Up next, I wanted to make something a little bit bigger. I made this Akari the Star from Lemon Cat Crochet. This pattern is so unique. It's absolutely adorable. Look at the little toesies, so cute. And then he has like a little star tail, and he can sit up like that, or you know, you can just hold him and he looks really cute. And I use these really pretty eyes from Allie McKenzie Crafts, and highly recommend this pattern. It is like a little bit more complex because you have to like connect the legs together. So just keep that in mind if you're more of a beginner crocheter, but overall this pattern is amazing and I highly recommend it to everyone. And then I decided I wanted to make a Valentine's themed pattern, so that's where my little Livy the Love Pup came from. So this should definitely be out by the time that this video releases. And obviously you can make her into a like Valentine's themed puppy, but she's so cute. She has little hearts on her paws. I do want to make one of these in like regular colors, like in some browns or something. And I do have a dog that's like a Rottweiler mix, so I thought it would be really cute to try to make her in this pattern, but I really like it. it's been a while since I've made like regular animal patterns that are larger, so I'm really in love with the way that this turned out. And she has a little heart collar and she has her little bow. So this would be like the most adorable Valentine's Day gift for like your partner or a friend. And yeah, that's her. She's like my favorite make that I've made in a while, so I hope you guys like her too. So after taking most of a day to design a pattern, I wanted to make something small and cute and simple, and I made this adorable little guy. His name is Francis. This is another pattern from Crafted for Comfort, who also made this awesome Nessie pattern. Her patterns are just so adorable, and there's a bunch of different mods for this pattern. I don't know if it'll be released yet. I like pre-tested it for her, but keep your eye out for it. Definitely give her a follow because everything she makes is magic. She is so great, one of my favorite creators. And this pattern will also have a lot of different mods, but from the mods that were already written in there, there was a little jester hat one, and I just thought that was super cute. So that was my little small make. And that one's also pretty simple too. So I think that if you're a beginner crocheter, there are some stitches besides single crochets and increases and decreases, obviously, like to make these. But her patterns are really well written and they're pretty straightforward. So I think you would be able to make one of these if you're more of an advanced beginner crocheter. And then Millie designed this adorable little Yuri the Snow Dragon whenever she was sitting beside me at the crochet retreat, and I said, "You got a pattern for that?" So she wrote it up for me and I made this little guy, and this is one of my favorite makes from the weekend. It's so cute. I'm absolutely obsessed with the horns and how they turned out, and I really like the colors that I use. So I don't know if she's planning to release this on Patreon or where, but just make sure that you're following her so that you can get updates on when her new patterns release. And then with the same body style, I also made a little Pikmin guy. She also designed this while we were on the crochet retreat, and I absolutely loved Pikmin growing up as a kid. It's a video game where you like have all these little Pikmin and they like work together to like accomplish tasks. So if you haven't played it, it's really fun. It's kind of making me want to play it again, but how cute is this? It's absolutely adorable. And Millie made one that has like a little star on it. So all three of these guys are actually the same like base body, and they're all just so cute, but I love how she is so creative and she can make one body shape into so many different cute little creatures. So definitely check out Millie. I'm sure you guys know her because she's awesome, but if you don't, for some reason, you definitely need to give her a follow. She actually just started posting on YouTube again, so if you need some new YouTubers to watch, you should definitely check out her channel because she shares like kind of some similar content, and she does like some weekly or maybe monthly vlogs, but she released like 3 videos in the past 2 weeks, so like that's way more than I can keep up with, but her videos are very fun and very entertaining, so be sure to check her out. So the next pattern that I made is from a creator that I haven't really interacted much with so far, but I saw this pattern test and I knew I absolutely had to make it. So this is the little mushroom that I tested for Stitches for Switch, and it is so cute. It actually looked a lot smaller in the tester call, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna whip this out in like an hour. No, it took me like 3 hours just because like it goes up to like 72 stitches in a round, and I just wasn't expecting it to take that long. Okay, maybe 3 hours is, I don't know if 3 hours is how long it took. Maybe around that, because you also have to crochet the little circles and put them on, but I would say a beginner can do this pattern. It's really cute, it's really simple, and I'm seriously obsessed with the way that it turned out. I think this little guy is so cute. And I know that she's planning on releasing some mini versions, and I also applied to test those, so we'll see if I end up making those in the next month. But yeah, I really like this creator. She seems very sweet, very nice, and her little creatures are just absolutely adorable. So up next, surprise, surprise, it is another pattern that I tested for Crafted for Comfort, and it's Torchic. Her Pokemon patterns are absolutely adorable. I'm seriously obsessed with every one that I've ever made. They're all around the same size and they're so cute. They're very intricate though. Like she introduced a new stitch. Like this is a stitch. This isn't anything sewn on. She literally has a stitch for how to make the little feet and they turned out so cute. And I don't know, she's just so talented. So especially if you like Pokemon, I would definitely give her a follow and try out some of her patterns. Some of them are a little more intermediate level, but she has really good instructions for like how she makes her different stitches and like the parts that can be a little bit more difficult for beginners. She explains them really well. So definitely check her out if you haven't. She's one of my favorites. And I think this little Torchic turned out so cute. So we're on to the last make of the first month of the year. And this was an interesting custom that I got. So somebody wanted a Froakie. This is a person that bought a Charmander from me at the Pokemon card show event. And I'm always excited to get custom orders and I love making Pokemon. They're so much fun, but whenever I heard that I needed to make a Froakie, I was kind of freaking out a little bit because I thought it was going to be really difficult. So I found like a base pattern from a blog called Strings Away. But while I was making it, I realized that it wasn't really turning out the way that I wanted. So I used that kind of as the base pattern and then I freehanded a lot of it. So this is how my Froakie turned out. I really think that the needle felted eyes kind of save him. I still don't know if I like his smile or not, but the customer said that they wanted a smile on it, so I went ahead, or I guess it's a frown. He has a little frown. So I put his little frown on there, but yeah, with this pattern, really all I used was the like main body and the head, and then I kind of freehanded the rest. Oh, and the arms. The arms were a part of that pattern, but he sits very nicely on a flat surface and I had to freehand these like baubles, which was a little difficult, and then I freehanded this little part as well. So honestly, he was looking kind of cursed whenever I first started and I was really nervous about the way that he would turn out, but he turned out all right. The customer is very happy and I really like the eyes that I did on here. I think the eyes kind of save him, but I don't know, he's still just kind of a derpy little guy. And this was my last pattern that I finished making, and I guess I don't even know if I'm supposed to include it in a pattern roundup if I didn't really use a pattern for it, but regardless, I wanted to show him off because I'm shipping him off today and I wanted the world to see him. So this month I made a total of 16 plushies. So I feel like I was taking it easy. I feel like going on the crochet retreat helped me kind of make a few more plushies than I originally like would have if I didn't go on the crochet retreat, because like, you know, with life, other things go on and it's hard to just sit down and crochet for a long time. But I think it was a very successful month. This was a month of making pretty much just things that I wanted to make. And I wasn't really feeling super stressed about testing or anything, because anything that I signed up to test, I really wanted to make. So it was a very fun month, very good month for crochet, I think. I made 4 new patterns, which is pretty good. That's like a pattern a week if you're like measuring it. But I am hoping to continue to do these every month, and then at the end of the year, I can see how many plushies I crocheted in the whole year, and that's something that I've never done before, and I'd be very interested, especially whenever like market time comes around and I'm like making a bunch of smaller items. It'll be really interesting to see how much stuff I crochet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found at least one and hopefully more patterns that you want to try for yourself. All the links are below, so be sure to go check out those creators. I had only positive experiences with all of these patterns. They were all great. They all turned out exactly how they seemed like they were supposed to. And I hope you guys enjoyed them too. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and we have some fun things to look out for. We have that Scrappy Bear tutorial, and then at some point I'll be doing another one of these videos. So stay tuned and I will see you guys next time.